On today's episode, we're joined by Lee Porter, the founder and owner of Ozark Green Roofs. She talks about some of the past projects they've done with the Fayetteville Public Library to some of the future projects they're doing with the Walton School of Medicine. Tune in to this episode to learn how valuable surrounding yourself with the right people truly is. This is the Startup Junkies podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Startup Junkies podcast. My name is Daniel Koonce, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Caleb Talley. Caleb, how are we doing today?
Doing wonderful. It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's beautiful. Ready to get outside after this. Well, we're joined here today by our new friend, the founder and owner of Ozark Green Roofs, Lee Porter. Lee, how are you today?
I'm great, and I'm glad to be inside today. I've been outside for most of the day, so I'm appreciating the air conditioning.
I imagine you're outside quite a bit with your job.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Ozark Green Roofs. Give us the elevator pitch.
Okay. Ozark Green Roofs is a green roof company that installs, designs, and maintains green roofs.
And for our listeners, what is a green roof?
A green roof is a vegetative roofing system. So there are plants, irrigation, soil, drainage layers all on top of a waterproofing membrane, which we don't do. We just do the layers on top of the waterproofing membrane.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you come to found Ozark Green Roofs? What did that process look like?
Okay, I started Ozark Green Roofs in 2018, actually with the help of Startup Junkie.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to tell you guys over there, but held back.
We'll make the check out the cash.
Yeah. So in 2018, I was working for a company called Integrity Partners. Mm-hmm. I was working for them part-time, and they were awesome and super supportive of me opening Ozark Green Roofs. But I worked for them part-time and opened Ozark Green Roofs. And yeah.
Okay, so prior to 2018, go a little bit further back.
Let's rephrase this. If Ozark Green Roof is the plant, what was the seed that you planted to grow it to?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So in college, I studied landscape architecture, and that's where I learned about green roofs. It was kind of like falling in love. Like, I learned about green roofs and just thought they were so cool. We had to do a research project on any landscape in the U.S. And I randomly chose this green roof in Oakland, California, and it's called the Kaiser Center Green Roof. And it was built in 1960. It was the largest green roof in the world at the time. And I just thought green roofs were awesome. And so I studied them in landscape architecture school. And then,
Okay, so I'm going to ask one more question about the seed that planted. I stalked your LinkedIn. You were a landscape designer, sustainability and resilience project coordinator, urban forester, gardener. Which of those roles you think you learned the most from and you took into Ozark Green Roofs the best?
So I learned about green roofs in college, kind of fell in love with them, did that research project on the Kaiser Center Green Roof. And in college, I got a fellowship to research green roofs. It was called the John G. Williams Traveling Fellowship. And I got to go to Germany and Switzerland and research incentives and programs that that cities there have for helping people install green roofs. And I thought that was really cool. And after that, I just really wanted to work with green roofs. So when I graduated, I tried to be a ski bum for a little bit. I moved to Colorado and did some skiing and working at coffee shops and stuff like that. But when I started my career, I really wanted to work with green roofs, but there were no green roof companies here in Arkansas. And so I was calling other green roof companies around the country like, hey, you want to open a green roof business in Arkansas? And they're like, why would we do that? What's happening in Arkansas? So I decided to try to make career decisions that would help me be like an attractive an attractive employee for a green roof company. So I worked at the botanical gardens of the Ozarks, and then I worked at the city of Fayetteville in the sustainability department. And then I worked in the Parks and Rec department as an urban forester. All those things, I was like, okay, what can I gather from this job that'll help me get a job in green roof someday when a green roof company starts in Arkansas? And I didn't think that I would be the one starting a green roof company in Arkansas, but here we are. And so yeah, in 2018, I had the opportunity to open Ozark Green Roofs. I was working for the city of Fayetteville, and someone at another company approached me and said, "Do you want to work for us part-time and open your green roof business?" And I was like, no, I've got this plan. Like, I'm going to work for a bigger green roof company. I'm going to get my landscape architecture license. And then I talked to my partner at the time, and he was like, why wouldn't you take this opportunity to like work part-time, get your bills paid, and then open your business? And so anyway, I did it and started working for Integrity in 2018, and then started the business at that time.
Yeah.
So you trained for years for your dream job, and then you ended up having to create the company for your dream job.
Yeah, basically.
That's like the perfect entrepreneurial story. Like,
I mean, yeah.
There are no big Ozark, or there are no big green roof companies. Just start a big.
Right.
Yeah. So any of our listeners that are local to Fayetteville or Northwest Arkansas, they drive around town. Where can they find your green roofs? Like, what are some of the projects you guys have done? Yeah.
So our first couple green roofs were down by Walker Park. They were on South College and down in that neighborhood that's changing a lot. And those were residential green roofs. We also did a green roof on a residence on Walker Park, on Wilson Park, and a couple other residential projects. And then in 2020, we got a contract to put a green roof on the Fayetteville Public Library. So that was our first big job, our first venture into commercial construction, which is a whole nother world.
Yeah.
And then we put a green roof on the First National Bank up by Target, and then a green roof on Uptown Apartments. So you can see all those.
Yeah. And you guys got a new project coming up. The School of Medicine.
Yep.
Yes.
It's called AWSOM. AWSOM. The
Alice Walton
School of Medicine. Yep.
When is that project expected to be finished?
Soon. Specifically 54 days.
54 days.
Yeah. There's a sign when you get onto the job site that says 54 days to finish.
Yeah.
So,
oh, wow.
Soon.
So we have an accelerator program called Fuel, and we expanded into health tech. And so this is our third health tech cohort that we're currently in the midst of, but our demo day for that will be at the Whole Health Institute.
Oh, cool.
And they won't confirm with us whether or not it's the first public event that will be held there, but I'm kind of hoping that will.
But is it at the Whole Health Institute or the School of Medicine?
I get them mixed up.
Similar, they're different.
Yeah, okay.
Different things.
Then I have no idea.
I don't exactly know.
Scratch that. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't exactly know how they're
just
related.
pay the invoices.
But they're related somehow, but they're different.
So the School of Medicine. Okay, now I understand. That's the one. I've seen the renderings or the aerial shots. That is incredible.
Right. They're both by the roundabout. There.
Which is
the museum.
It kind of goes up. I forgot how many miles of trails it says it's included on this.
I don't know how many miles of trails it is either. I know that the green roof is 2 acres, 100 trees, a water feature.
It's crazy to think about that you're even having a conversation about how many miles of trails there are on the roof of the medical school.
Right.
Just conceptually.
If I had to guess, I'd say that it's like a half mile of trails on the roof.
That's wild.
2 laps around a track.
So
Feels about right.
What is that green? Are you allowed to tell us what that green roof kind of entails? Like what that that experience is like for folks that are engaging in that?
Yeah. So if you're at Crystal Bridges or up there, near those grounds, I think even if you're on parts of the Greenway, you can find your way to the School of Medicine. And instead of coming in on J Street, you'd come in on the backside. And the School of Medicine green roof, it's at its tallest point, it's 70 feet high. And then trails take you from the top point down the roof to what's called the roof tail. And it connects the building to the ground, and then the trails are on that portion, and then that connects you to Crystal Bridges trails and all that. It feels really woodland. Like, even though you're near downtown Bentonville, there are trees. Sometimes in the morning there are deer near the roof tail. It's pretty cool.
I was told by someone in that kind of Walton Family World, Walton Family Foundation, they were talking about, I guess, whenever her vision was for adding trees and a forest to the roof of the medical school, and just everything it took to make that even feasible on the front end from a construction project, of like how deep they had to go with the foundation into the ground.
Oh yeah.
To like, hey, we're going to put X amount of weight in a forest on the roof. Structurally,
it's amazing. Martin and Martin was the structural engineer, and I, when I'm going to bed at night, I'm like, I'm so glad Martin and Martin did all the structural calculations for this roof, because there's a lot of weight on the roof. Yeah, so there are trees, there are soil, and when you calculate soil, you calculate the saturated water weight. So it's not just the dry material. It's like if that all had water in it. And then there are drainage layers, and then there's geofoam, lots of geofoam, which is light, but it's kind of hard to pick up a piece of geofoam by yourself. Like it's bulky. So pounds per square foot, it's light, but overall, across the whole roof, it's a lot of weight.
Yeah, you add some weight.
At scale,
and then there's concrete, and then there's stone, and then there's equipment and people, and there's a water feature on the roof. But structural engineers have to calculate for like snow loads and live loads, dead loads.
It's like weeks of rain that we'll occasionally get, just
iced
like
over.
Ice. True.
Well, the name of the game is to get water off the roof on any green roof. On any roof, you don't want water sitting there, but it's the same with green roofs.
Does that mean a green roof is best when it is at a slope, like an angled green roof?
Yeah, great question. So all roofs have a pitch, even if they look flat. Like even probably this roof looks flat, but there's a pitch to it.
Well, it leaks quite a bit, so there's water marks right there. Look at all those water stains.
Hey, green roofs.
We have water features too.
Statistically, green roofs leak less than standard roofs. That's because they're over-engineered. There are layers protecting the membrane from UV and from
just a ton of attentionality applied, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. Nobody wants a green roof. Nobody wants a roof to leak, but especially
not a green roof.
Yeah, especially green roof subcontractors really don't want roofs to leak. It's a bad look if your green roof is leaking.
Yeah, so it's leaking less than a normal roof. That's just one of the benefits of having a green roof, I imagine. Can you kind of touch on what some of the other benefits are?
Sure. There are lots of benefits of green roofs. The one that I like to say the most is that green roofs make people happy. There are environmental benefits, there are some cost benefits, but people like being on green roofs. It's cool. Yeah. When you're up on a roof, you're like, what's happening here? Like, how are we up here? How are there plants here? And they can really be an amenity space for a building. I like to say they're a good smoke break place, but nobody smokes anymore, which is a good thing. But, well, not nobody. But anyway, I don't say that.
Whatever your vices are, you can do it up there.
Yeah. But they do have environmental benefits. They help to slow stormwater. They help to cool the urban heat island effect. So, it's hotter downtown by asphalt and HVAC units, and when you've got reflective surfaces like windows, it can make it hotter in the urban environment. And then in a rural area under a tree, it's cooler. So green roofs can help offset some of that.
Yeah.
And then obviously they create habitat for pollinators and, bees, birds.
Yeah. They're good for the environment. They're sustainable.
Yep.
I'm going to prove to you that I did a little bit of homework for this.
Nice.
I went to your website and I saw a term I didn't recognize. Can you tell us a little bit about the triple bottom line theory of sustainability and kind of how that's influenced your business?
Yeah, the triple bottom line stands for PPP, people, planet, profit. I know it sounds funny, right?
Oh, yeah.
So people, in sustainability, you want to make sure that that you are covering the triple bottom line, that whatever you're doing impacts people in a positive way, impacts the planet in a positive way, and then obviously that there's some profit, because business, you've got to make profit.
Yeah.
So I think, and I haven't really been deep in that sustainability world for a while. I know it might seem like it, having a green roof company, but sustainability as like fluffy of a term as it can seem, there's real data behind it. And I think that people, hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but I think that people are moving away from the PPP. Like, I think it's too basic of a concept. It's not as tangible as real sustainability data requires or needs. So yeah, that's PPP. You can say it.
PPP.
It means
PPP.
Like the triple bottom line. I mean, it means you know something about sustainability, but you probably don't work in that world.
Yeah.
Are you an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur looking to get plugged into the ecosystem? We host a ton of events designed for education, inspiration, and collaboration, from weekly meetups to quarterly events like pitch competitions and annual events like our marquee event, the Startup Crawl, which is the largest startup party in Arkansas. Check out our event page on our website, sign up, and we'll see you there.
Well, let's talk about the first P, people, right?
Yep.
Tell me about your team at Ozark Green Roofs.
Oh, nice. Segue.
Yeah, it was a good segue, right?
It was.
Thank you.
That was good. People. So there are a lot of people at Ozark Green Roofs. Even, for the first 5 years of the business, it was just me. On the surface, it was just me. But I've always had a group of people around me supporting the business. And I actually got the idea for that support from Michael Eisman.
Yeah.
Y'all know Michael?
I overlapped with him, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've been around long enough that I overlapped with him for a month.
Well, so when I started coming to Startup Junkie, he's who I met with first. I met with him, and then I met with Megan, and then they started dating, and now they're married.
Congratulations, Michael and Megan.
They've been married for a little while.
Late congratulations, Michael and Megan. I'm sorry I'm behind.
Yeah, it's really sweet. And they were great to work with, but they suggested that I set up a board of advisors, which has been invaluable. I started working with them in 2018, and I still have them. We're meeting 2 Wednesdays from now. I just sent out the calendar invite. But Michael suggested that I that I write down knowledge domains that I'm lacking. So, on my list was sales. I don't know really how to sell things. There was engineering. I'm not an engineer. Definitely more of an artist mindset. And then there was someone that's worked on big green roof projects, like large commercial roofs. And then sustainability, and then a woman-owned business. Oh, and then landscape architecture. Even though I do know about that, I just wanted someone to keep me in check.
Yeah.
So I found people in my network, like people that I look up to, but then also could learn from, and asked them if I could steal an hour of their time once a quarter. So we've been meeting roughly once a quarter since 2018.
Yeah.
And
same crew, same folks.
Same group. 2 people have, I don't want to say fallen off. It's just, life changes. Yeah. So now it's 4.
It's impressive, to keep even that number of people engaged for that many years.
Yeah.
On something like that. That's awesome.
I mean, I feel really honored that they still want to be a part of it. Every time that I'm, organizing a meeting, like, hey, are you free on this day? And they're like enthusiastic and want to meet. I'm like, that's awesome that you're still excited about this. So for the first 5 years, it was just me and then technically my advisory board. Every month or every quarter that we would meet, I'd give them an honorarium sheet, and there are 3 boxes on it. The first one says, give me $50. The next one says, donate $50 to blank cause. And then the next one says, choose a cause to donate to. And so I couldn't really pay them much, but it felt like a way for either them to make $50 if that was what they were looking for, or give back to the community a little bit. And they've never taken the $50. They've always donated it, which is a win-win for everybody because I donate it in their name, and then it's coming from them and Ozark Green Roofs, and then the nonprofit,
That's awesome.
gets a little money too. But so it was just me for the first 5 years, and then I met with the advisory board. But I also had a business coach with the ASB TDC, and we still meet occasionally. Shout out to Catherine Corley. She's great.
They're our neighbors now.
Oh,
downstairs.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. More recently, we've been meeting in the Bentonville office. So I haven't been down to this office yet. And then, let's see. Okay, and then coming here to Startup Junkie was helpful. I was trying to come like once a month in the beginning. Definitely didn't keep up with that, but yeah, you guys were like great cheerleaders and gave me some great resources. You guys helped me find my accountant and my first insurance agent. So yeah, really just grateful for you guys being around. I think I even sent the mayor an email one time, like, thank you for supporting Startup Junkie, because didn't it start by like a...
Yeah, there's an investment from the city, like ongoing still. We
city-
have like a partnership with the city that
And then-
funds certain aspects.
Was it the Walton Family Foundation too? Was it just those two partners in the beginning?
So initially, the city, in large part, and that funds like the ability to serve Fayetteville and the offering of this like boardroom and co-working space. Walton Family Foundation and some other like federal funders have, through like matched contributions have, contributed to the rest of it. Which the Walton Family Foundation still funds us a lot of our programs. Thank you. Always feel free to send more whenever. But we're always still looking for like federal grants and stuff and opportunities to, do more.
For sure.
Well, thank you for writing a letter to the mayor, by the way. Like that's we should make that a requirement, Kayla, for if Startup Junkies ever helped you, write it to the mayor and tell him to keep supporting Startup Junkie.
Or just when you scale and exit, big like 8-figure exit, you can endow us. Like that's fine.
Come back and sponsor Startup Girl.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael and Megan. Helping me get going.
That's awesome.
But so, all right. So for the first 5 years, it was just that suite of people. And then also like my mom, I call my mom all the time. She's a corporate baddie. And I'm like, Mom, what do I do about this? She's like, don't say this, write this list. Like, she gave me this advice too. If I need to like come across as powerful in a meeting, like don't take notes, just know what I'm going to say in my head, like have a couple topics and just stick to that. Like, don't contribute too much to the meeting. Just sit there and observe. So, anyway, she's super supportive as well.
Yeah,
and my dad.
Yeah, it seems like you have a great support group around you.
I do. I'm really lucky.
Yeah. When did you start hiring employees?
Okay. Yeah. So for the first 5 years, it was just me, and then, I always worked with interns. So the university, like occasionally students would reach out from horticulture, or landscape architecture, typically in the spring, asking for internships. And so I did paid internships, but we didn't have an office. It was like we'd meet at the public library. I'd give them some things to do. And they were definitely helpful in, side projects and stuff. But then I hired my first employee, which she's sitting right here, Emily Tilbury. You started in May. All right, June 18th, 2024.
It's got the date.
Yeah, it's coming up. We should celebrate. And that was such a relief. Like having someone to be able to do some work. I didn't even know what to give her to work on in the beginning. I was like, can you do this? Can you do this too? And this? And she's done everything I've asked and needed and more, things I didn't know I needed. So thanks, Emily. But so Emily was my first hire, and she is our vice president of operations. So she does everything, basically, except for project management and bookkeeping. But she even did some of that in the beginning. So let's see. I hired her last year, 2024. And then we hired a part-time maintenance employee who's since then moved to almost full-time. And And then we hired a bookkeeper. And then we just recently hired another part-time maintenance person.
Yeah.
So at Ozark Green Roofs, there's the design department, installation department, and maintenance department. And I try to think of it in those silos because I want like each of those budgets to be able to operate on their own. Design, we don't do much design these days. I would love to do more design, but installation is really where it's our bread and butter. It's where we make a lot of profit. And then maintenance is awesome because it is its own self-sustaining. It's almost like its own business within the business. So yeah, now we have 5 people at Ozark Green Roofs.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Seems like you're building a great team.
Thank you. Yep. So there's me, and then there's another co-owner who's Bob East. And so he's not an employee, but he's with us. He's on our team. Do you know that name?
I do, only because I went to your website earlier.
In my mind, Bob he's an Arkansas legend. He's a businessman. He won like Businessman of the Year award some year.
Yeah, write that down, Caleb.
I take notes.
The other day I asked him how many businesses he'd been involved in, and he said something around 30 businesses.
Wow.
So
I guarantee Jeff knows him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's
shiny object guys.
I mean, kind of. Bob is always wearing his like pearl snaps, and he keeps it real.
Keeps it real.
Yeah.
Bob, you keep it real.
He does. But I feel so honored to have had him and his son-in-law help out with strategic things. I've got time right now, and I've got a lot of energy for Ozark Green Roofs, and I care so much about it. But I didn't go to business school. You know, I'm sure. I mean, this is like almost every entrepreneur's story. But I needed help with strategy. Like I've got so many ideas throughout the week. I'm like, maybe we should grow the business this way, maybe this way. And I mean, obviously we need to choose the thing that's going to make profit, but I'm like, well, but who knows what,
Can we try?
what the market's going to want. And so, they've helped me strategize financially, which has been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like you guys have done some great work the past 7 years. You've built a great team around you.
Yeah.
Let's look forward 5 years from now. What does success look like for you?
We've been talking about that a lot lately. Success looks like being able to offer benefits to all of my employees. We're currently talking about that. You know, I think there are a couple tiers in opening a business. The first one is like, can you pay yourself? Super important. Like, unless you're trying to run a nonprofit, you got to make money doing it, obviously. And then how much profit you're making. And then can you hire people? And I feel like the next tier, which I'm really excited to be on the brink of, is offering people some benefits. So, so that's one of the things for the future. Our goal is to be the green roof source for Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. I want to say Texas. Texas is so big.
It's so big.
You know?
Yeah.
You can carve out a little piece.
Yeah, you can get a little chunk of it maybe.
Yeah, and it's such a different climate as well. But yeah, we want to be the green roof resource in this region, and we want to be on the map nationally. I mean, I think the School of Medicine, I'm so grateful that has put us on the map. It's put that project on the map, and we're behind that project, but I want us to be on the map as well.
Absolutely. So. Well, I think you guys are making great strides in order to be on the map nationally. Caleb, would you like to land?
No small feat, that project in and of itself. I'm just like still thinking about the.
Oh yeah. It took years of talking about. I mean, there were years of talking about it, I'm sure, before we were brought on board. And then I was just looking back in my emails, and my first email about the project was from May 2022. So we've been bidding on it, planning for it, doing models. Since for 3 years, since 2022.
And yes, I'll happily land the plane. So our land the plane question is, if you had the opportunity to go back in time, you're going back in time to talk to your younger self, not, invest in anything or anything like that. But if you had the opportunity to go back in time and give your younger self advice, maybe coming out of school, or maybe even as recently as before starting Ozark Green Roof, with all the accumulated knowledge you have now, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh, this is such a sweet question. I love that. a couple things come to mind, but I'd probably tell myself that it's okay. You can't read very well. Just try really hard. Like I have always struggled with reading and had some struggles in school with that. And I always thought, well, I'm going to have to do some job like, where you don't read, or just something that maybe I wasn't that enthusiastic about.
You wouldn't have a lot of choice.
Exactly. Yeah. But trying really hard and asking people for help. Like today I sent Emily an email, was like, I had to read this 3 times. Can you, this is what I'm getting. Can you tell me if I read it right? I tell myself that you just got to keep trying hard, and it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's a valuable skill. I don't know if you see it as a skill or not, but asking for help and figuring out what you don't know and filling that gap, especially with your board of directors, that's a valuable skill.
Advisors. Directors can tell me what to do.
Advisors
just give me advice.
Your board advisors, you surround yourself with people who know stuff you don't. So I tip my hat to you. That's an extremely invaluable skill to have as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and I think, that's something that a lot of kids with learning disabilities probably don't realize that they're learning is just learning how to be wrong. Like putting your ego aside. Like I learned really young that I'm probably wrong in how I'm reading this. Or, for me it was reading, but it could be whatever your difference is. And learning to say, hey, can you check this out for me? Because I want to do it right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, I'm super glad you figured out a process that works for you, because obviously you've built a successful brand. We look forward to seeing it in the future. If any of our audience listeners, they want to check you out, they want to check out Ozark Green Roofs, where should they go?
Go to ozarkgreenroofs.com or Instagram. We should really make some more posts. Or we...
it's an intern project, new intern.
Yeah, right. Hey, maybe. Or LinkedIn. Or call us. We love to talk about green roofs. We could give you a site visit. You can come up on a roof.
Awesome.
Probably the best way to learn about us.
Yeah, we'll make sure we tag them in the show notes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share with a friend. Subscribe and review, because it matters to us and we want to hear from you. If you're interested in learning how to work with us, check out the information below. See you next week.